Hi, my name is David. I'm going to be talking about diseases and pandemics, especially coronavirus. Coronavirus started as an epidemic, however later classified as a pandemic, affecting the global population. This has led to imposing strict health and safety guidelines, including lockdowns, curfews, and social distancing, which all led to major businesses having financial losses, job losses, long-run and short-run shutdowns. Coronavirus impacted stakeholders like employees and shareholders, where employees lost their jobs and had lowered wages, while shareholders had zero to low dividends. Coronavirus spread in every nation, however it sprung from Wuhan, China. The cause of the virus has still not been detected, however the cause of high spread is to it being highly contagious. This is directly related to rsm100 topics such as HR management, operating during a pandemic, and business ethics. Businesses have responsibilities towards their shareholders and their employees. However, the coronavirus pandemic is making it difficult for senior management. Looking through HR, employees are working from home with lower wages, which is causing them demotivation to work and is causing financial distress and losses. From the HR perspectives, employees are working from home with social distancing and are demotivated due to their loss of wages, and this is causing them social and financial issues and economic distress. The pandemic is also not allowing businesses to operate normally, which is causing short-down and long-run shutdowns due to the high costs that the businesses suffer from, leading to the employees being stranded and the companies being bankrupt. Relating this to business ethics, the mass unethical dismissals of employees is leading to them and their families having no sources of income. This is all due to the high costs the business are suffering. I predict that businesses that are strong will heal and go back to normal by 2023. However, small businesses may not heal.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I will be talking about poverty. Poverty is defined as the deprivation of essential materials needed to survive, such as food, water, shelter, and clothing, due to a lack of income from a low-level job or no employment at all. Poverty likely began because some of the places in the world have a lack of healthcare, education, and freedom. This could lead to many issues in society, such as an increase in crime, substance abuse, diseases, and more. In rsm100, we learn about stakeholders that are involved in certain issues. Some of the major stakeholders involved in poverty that work on reduction strategies and research programs are people from non-governmental and multilateral organizations, civil society, private sectors, and major faith groups. This issue dates all the way back to after the Second World War, when it was discovered on a global scale. Upon discovery, the World Bank found that 44% of the world was living in poverty. There have been many ups and downs since then, but the World Vision has a goal that is set by global leaders to fully end poverty by the year 2030. Poverty can also affect business operations. If a lot of the population is living in poverty, this indicates a low level of labor productivity. If more funds and efforts were allocated toward the fight to end poverty, then productivity would increase within a country and benefit the economy significantly. In rsm100, we spend a good amount of time examining case studies of problems in the business world and how we can try to solve them. Poverty puts a toll on economic growth currently, but it can have extremely positive effects if it is fixed. So this topic is highly relevant to the content that we have learned in this course.
Hi, my name is Keibun, and I'll be talking about climate change. The global phenomenon climate change has been an issue spanning over 30 years, and it's only been getting worse. Examples of such changes can be seen from the lack of snow and ice caused by the warming of Earth, which causes ocean levels to rise. Climate change has also been affecting stakeholders such as customers and poor communities. Beaches are disappearing from rising sea levels, and winter sports seasons are being shortened because of the warm temperatures, which affect not only the tourism industry, but also the customers who want to travel to these places. Since humans are the direct causes of climate change, the start of climate change can be traced back to the Industrial Revolution, when factories and using fossil fuels for manufacturing was evolved. Since then, the use of fossil fuels and other types of environmentally harmful activities have been increasing all around the world. Climate change is extremely relevant in our class because we have been learning about social responsibilities of business and practicing this type of business to fight climate change. Also, as we learn about managing projects in class, there have been a project recently adopted by 193 countries around the world called Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs for short, where they focus on different global issues including climate change. Also, we've had a whole lecture dedicated to climate change and the government's responses. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jeanette, and I'll be discussing the rise of artificial intelligence, AI, in the workplace. To start, AI involves the building of smart machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. This recent rise stems from demands to boost consumer experience and business productivity and overall innovation. Advancements in computing power and data availability have catalyzed this movement. Such a major integration calls for a period of disruption due to inevitable learning curves. Consequently, workplace morale and productivity may decrease, but is expected to rebound with proper training. For corporations to remain competitive, strategic resource allocation and AI investment have become increasingly imperative. Combined with big data, helps to automate processes such as planning, market research, sales, etc. HR hiring and training have also popularized AI. Specifically, when used to screen, select, and match top qualified candidates to company requirements, serves to efficiency and consistency. Further, AI's adaptive training programs can be tailored to fit unique learning styles. However, unintentional discriminatory bias in algorithms may heighten inequalities based on demographics such as gender, socioeconomic status, race, age, etc., which indirectly harm employee morale, work experience, and overall corporate culture. Data integrity is also at threat of hacking and AI terrorism. Thus, decision makers at all levels must act to protect security and privacy against unethical or malicious users. AI's prospects are promising, especially amongst economic leaders like China and the US. Also, opportunities for new jobs and industries offsets the displacement effect typically in manual labor. This shift compels the next generation to achieve higher academia and soft skills combined. Ultimately, AI's rise has remarkable benefits in innovation, streamlining processes, and productivity. It's a driving force for long-term employment and economic growth. By understanding its limitations, stakeholders can proactively combat potential obstacles. AI can't completely replace human intelligence, but by leveraging it allows us to engage in higher-level skills and tasks involving human judgment, complex communication, empathy, and creativity.
Hi, my name is Muhammad, and today I'll be speaking about the misappropriation of user data. The misappropriation of user data is when information that is collected by businesses' users is used in an unintended way by the business internally or by external third parties. This is a prevalent concern in today's contemporary business landscape because businesses collect and store large quantities of data points about their users, and in doing so, they have to be able to maintain the data's confidentiality and protect it from being misused. When user data is misappropriated by big corporations and businesses, it leads to negative implications for different stakeholders, ranging from the business's customers and the business itself to investors in the financial community. This was observed during the Cambridge Analytica political scandal, where Facebook's failure to protect their data from being breached by the political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica caused their stock price to drop severely once news broke out and society lost sentiment in their company. Following legal action that was taken against Facebook too, they were also fined with a $5 billion hefty fine by the Federal Trade Commission. This is relevant to the topic of corporate social responsibility within rsm100 because alongside providing their services and products to the general public, corporations need to be able to maintain their duties, and if they're not being able to maintain their social responsibilities, they have to be held accountable by society and by all the different stakeholders held accountable.
Hi, I'm Martina, and I'll be talking about the gender wage gap. The gender wage gap refers to the difference in earnings between women and men. Experts have calculated this gap in a multitude of ways, but the varying calculations point to a consensus. Women consistently earn less than men, and the gap is disproportionately wider for low-income women, women of color, and Indigenous women. Canada is ranked as having the 8th highest gender pay gap out of a list of 43 countries examined by the OECD based on 2016 data. According to the most recent Census Bureau data from 2018, the women of all races, on average, earn just 82 cents for every $1 earned by men of all races. In the United States in 2019, more than 55 million full-time working women collectively earned an estimated $545.7 billion less than their male counterparts. The gender wage gap has been an ongoing issue ever since women entered the workforce in the 1950s, and the biggest stakeholders involved in this issue are women who are in the workforce and any company or corporate entity that has female employees. rsm100 examines the roles of businesses and how it affects stakeholders on a micro and macro level. The gender wage gap is highly relevant to the course as it continues to be among the most politically charged issues in the business world, and distinctively outlines discrimination against a large yet marginalized group. In order to gain a well-rounded understanding of effective business management, it is important to understand how equality and equity should be executed within the workplace as well as the corporate world as a whole. Thank you.